Welcome to another section of Health Intelligence. Today we want to look at the reasons why you're not losing weight. Let us look at a typical person that tries to lose weight. What is the process? What are the specific things that they do the minute they look in the mirror and they realize that, shoop, I'm turning into my mother too soon? What are the specific things they do? Number one, they go to Google, or they call a friend, whichever order. Second one, they buy a gym contract. Or they get a personal trainer. And the next step here, they start heavy dieting and exercise. And the fourth step, nothing happens and they give up. This is the normal scenario. You don't like the way you look. You wake up one morning, your pants don't fit, your belt has become too tight. You go to Google, you look for a gym near me, or you're looking for where do we have a 12-week challenge, where do we have a 6-week challenge, or you call one of your friends that you've just met that has lost a lot of weight. I call that the back fence advice. You're asking somebody that has lost the weight, but they lost it the wrong way. They recommend a friend or they recommend a diet. Majority of women will always have a friend recommend a diet. And the more crazy and the more hard the diet is, the more people gravitate towards it. You buy a gym contract. You go in, you either meet a trainer, or all of a sudden you go in, you sign your contract. They welcome you in the gym. They tell you these studios are for classes. The classes at this time and this time. These are called treadmills. You can use them, and the rest of the gym is equipment. You've never been to a gym. You're not young. You're not beautiful. You don't have money. Chances are nobody pays you attention. And because you feel very intimidated, and most of us don't like looking and feeling stupid in public, we end up doing what we only comfortable doing. If you go to the majority commercial gyms, most group training classes are full because there's some kind of instruction from the instructor, and there's that camaraderie from so many people. It's a case of a sheep leading sheep. You go in, and because you're sweating from frustration, not from working out, of course, people join that. And if you come on the gym floor, majority of people are running on the treadmill because we were born, we know how to walk since we were kids. So you don't feel stupid walking on a treadmill. You walk on a treadmill, you run on the treadmill. Those are things you can do outside. But at the end of the day, you get bored. Then you start dieting. And it's crazy diet. It's one of those where you go, all of a sudden you're just eating one meal, or they put you on a rabbit diet, or they give you just a few pieces of salad and a piece of chicken, or one egg, or 1.25 egg. Remember, the more crazy a diet is, so they tell you to eat only 2 nuts, or they tell you have to go on a banana diet where you're eating only 2 bananas, or you only have to go on a juice diet, whatever. No matter, there's so many crazy diets out there. And then you start to exercise like crazy. You tell me, of course, the first 1 or 2 weeks, you'll be motivated. Majority of people, most exercise and eating plans will always last the first 21 days. Because the first 21 days is simply motivation, because you want to achieve a specific goal and you're so driven. But remember, motivation is like showering. It's something that you have to renew every day. Now, over time, your motivation muscle completely dies, completely gets depleted. And what do? You start making excuses why you can't go to gym tomorrow. You start making excuses why you can't go back on your diet. You start making excuses why you have to go back to the old way of doing things. Are you wrong in doing that? Are you just a weak-willed person? Are you such a horrible person? Such a horrible person is such a poor self-discipline that you can never get anything right. My answer to that is you are doing it wrong. It's not you. It's the system that you're following. Now, let's take this and bring it into a real life scenario. Let's imagine you earning 10,000 rands. This is your monthly salary. Then instantly you go to work the next month. They tell you because of how bad the economy is, all of us have to take a pay cut for us to stay in business. So all of a sudden from 10,000, they tell you have to take a 50% pay cut, which means now you're earning 5,000 rands here as your monthly salary. Now, on your 10,000 rand salary, this is what you are paying. You had rent, you had car notes, food, and of course, school fees. You have medical. So I'll say rent here, you are paying, easy rent, you are paying 3,000. For your car, you're paying 1,000. For your food, you're paying 1,000. School fees, you're paying 2,000. Medical, so that gives us 4,000, 5,000, 7,000. Medical, you're paying another 2,000. So you have 1,000 here as surplus. Now, all of a sudden, you have to take a 5,000 cut because the company is not doing well, or you have to lose your job. What will you do? There are a couple of things that you'll do here. The first thing is to look for a job, but you can't look for a job today, which means here that you have to downsize. The first thing that will have to go here is rent here. Now this one, let's assume this is a 2-bedroomed house and it's just you and your husband or you and your wife and one child. So we have to go into a 1-bedroom house, and that automatically means it's 1,500. This car, if we were driving a car, we have to drop this and get a car where we're going to be paying 500 a month. If it's paid for, we're talking about petrol. If we look at food, we have to drop this. It means all of a sudden we have to start shopping. If you're shopping at Woolies, we're shopping at Checkers or Pick and Pay, we have to look for a better, cheaper place. We might go to Boxes. We might go to the flea market. We might decide that on Saturdays we go to town and do shopping because location determines how much your groceries cost. And then all of a sudden, school fees, we have to take these kids away from this school and bring them to a school that we can afford. For this point, we have to take the necessary measures for us to make sure that we survive. Extreme circumstances demands extreme measures. And of course, medical, we might have to start going to government hospital for that period of time. Now, if you look at this, we had to downgrade our life for us to be able to push us through that lean time, which means over time, if we had our savings to cover this period, we have to start dipping into our savings. Now, the same thing happens here when it comes to your body. All of a sudden, you have fat and you have muscle. So when you start training, and you start training very heavy and very intense, you've never trained before, you start breaking down your muscle. You've cut down on your food. You are eating anything that you want because the more junk food you eat or the more sugar-laden foods that you eat, the more calories they have. Now, all of a sudden, you've cut that out automatically and you're surviving on salads and a few pieces of either chicken sticks and all that. All of a sudden, your savings here is gone. What do you think will happen? Straight away, you get into a deficit here. And if you're in this deficit, if it's a car, if it's in deficit, it means it has no petrol. It can't move. If you are Rent is in deficit, it means the landlord will have to lock the house, they'll kick you out. If food is in deficit, it means you're going to suffer from hunger. Now, you can see why most exercise programs struggle and why most people drop, because they started wrong. Now, what we want to do here is, the first thing that we need to do is, we need to make sure that we have enough savings and we're getting into that savings. We don't want to all of a sudden take away your monthly income while at the same time wipe away the savings, because that becomes immediate shock to you. And with immediate shock, there's only one way: death. People will always collapse, they give up, they say exercise doesn't work, but it's because the strategy is completely wrong. We can't start like this. We have to make sure that you doing it the right way. The first thing that is going to go when you start training, the first thing that your body will attack is muscle, because muscle is this extra expenses that your body cannot carry. The second thing your body will attack is your weight. Weight is another extra expense that your body cannot carry. The minute we do it systematically and the body feels that now all these extra things are going off, then your body will be forced to tap into your savings. And to do that, there's two ways we're going to do that. Number one, we have to regulate the kind of exercises that you do. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing. If all of a sudden you start training too hard and you've never trained, that's no longer exercise for your body. That's killing your body, and your body will turn against you. The second thing is proper nutrition. You have to eat. You have to eat for health. Don't eat for weight loss. Majority of people are eating for weight loss. What is the point of eating? You have to ask yourself that. What is the point of eating? The point of eating is to give your body energy, because without energy, you cannot live. There's so many things that cannot happen if you don't have energy. So if you are eating and you're feeling lethargic, if you are eating and you're feeling cravings, it's your body telling you that whatever it is that you're doing it wrong. Two things make most people fall off the wagon of weight loss. Number one is being lethargic, and number two is intense cravings. If you don't control these two things, they will put you down. And the only way we're going to be able to do this is proper nutrition. I need for you to eat for health and not for weight loss. If you have any more questions about this, if there's anything you don't understand, feel free to write it in the comment section, and I promise to get back to you. If there's a friend out there that needs to hear this, do the right thing. Share, like the video, and above everything else, it helps with the algorithms if you can subscribe to the channel. It makes it easier for you to find, for us to be able to send this material to you, but also makes it easier and more fun for me to keep on creating these educative videos for you. God bless, take care of yourself, and always remember, eat for health and not for weight loss.